We're still coming to you live, of course. Nellmapius, ya banna. We're having a number of conversations starting from crime. We're looking into the health of men, traditional health, all of that and all of this and all of that. But what could it be if we are not, of course, speaking about the money? And of course, people want to try to do this and that in terms of business. But right now, of course, Morena Noko, who is, of course, from the department, is, of course, of small business development. Morena Noko, thank you very much for giving us your time.
Thank you very much for having me, and greetings to your listeners.
First of all, I heard your speech saying that you are a father as well. Before get happy Father's Day for the following day. How do you feel? Men are gathered here. You as a man, as a father. How do you feel about this day, and especially the fact that you are here and you're seeing this wonderful of young men and old men that are gathered for these conversations?
I think it's a special day, and I must applaud President Monama for arranging this, because men are going through a lot. They are facing different challenges, socially, economically, and otherwise. So I think that this platform, it creates an opportunity for them to engage, to interact, but also to find solutions to some of these problems. And that's why we are here, to assist and to guide them. Yes.
Yes. Now you are from a department which is called a small business development. When we classify small, what is small business here? What are we looking, or rather, what are the perimeters to define one as a small business? Business qualify. What qualifies one to become a small business?
Okay, so we have a bill that defines the type of businesses that we have in this country. So they start with micro, and then there is small, and then there is medium businesses. So anything below 50 million is a ceiling for small business, qualifying small business enterprises. Anything below 5 million is what is classified as the micro businesses. But having said that, it is also inclusive of the sector, because there are small businesses, for instance, in IT, that are making more money than a company that employs, for instance, 100 people in agriculture, because selling tomatoes might not bring the same money as developing an app and taking it to the market. So there could be 2 people only in an IT company, only to find that they are making much more money. So much as we use the revenue, but we also look at the number of employees in that business. So I think that is the little distinction between, yes.
Okay, quite formidable and interesting. But now let's get to look into small business development, into your department as a whole. Who gets to qualify to apply? Who does not qualify? And also, what is the process of saying that when you're applying, what are you really getting to apply for? Are we applying for funding? Are we applying for, a certain maybe training to get to be equipped and all of that? As we know very well that we have agencies, we have departments, and we have all of this. All of them, they're trying to make sure that the economy of South Africa get to move. What is so different about yours as well? And how do we, maybe just to also get to answer that question?
Okay. So firstly, let me indicate that we offer both financial and non-financial support. So we've got an array of programs that support businesses. In fact, both formal and informal businesses. So we start with the informal businesses. Informal businesses is businesses that are not registered. So those people that are trading Koma Raba Start, we support them. So we've got a scheme called IMEDP, which is the Informal Micro Enterprise Development Program, and we give them up to 15,000. And this is a grant. And with that grant, we don't give them cash. Instead, we buy them equipment. So for instance, if Magogo Shapap and Flacy, Remurakala di pizza, Remurakala gas tofu, Remurakala di plate, all those things. So, but Remurakala di fridge, but to a maximum, yeah, 15. So that is the scheme that we have for the informal. Yes, but those that are registered and they are looking for bigger equipment, we've got a scheme called Asset Assist Program. So with that one, we give you equipment up to 250K. Trust me, again, it's a grant. You are not paying anything. So I think that's why today, maybe if you listen to my talk, I was encouraging people to take action, to do something with this information. Because we have so many programs where people benefit without having to repay these monies. Because this is government money. So imagine getting equipment for you to start a business up to 250. I mean, all the business are more casimo. You'll find on average maybe Mutonida 100K, 150, 200. So you can do a whole lot more. So imagine you are running a hair salon, you are starting a smaller butchery, you are a smaller mechanic on the side of the road and so forth, or in an ice cream business, all those kind of businesses. You can get equipment. For example, let's say ureka muchini wa wira di tire. There are cars in the township. Tire they are puncher every day. Di batlo fix it. So that machine wa thusa re khona untsha di rim tsele, o irengwa di repair and all those things. So imagine getting equipment, that the whole set of equipment, at a full toolbox, the jack, everything, and all that is kept within 250K. So other than that, we have also the formal schemes where it's a blended finance where we can support like big businesses, but you pay a portion in a form of a loan, but a portion of it becomes a grant. So, but it varies. Some of them is 50-50. Some of them, the grant portion works on a cascading scale. So it could be 80-20, it could be 70-30, and so forth. So for those, we will support you up to 15 million rand. Yes. But lastly, maybe just to talk of the grants component, we also have a very special scheme, which was just unveiled recently, and it's called the Business Infrastructure Support Program. And that program, we offer you a maximum of 23 million, and that is a grant, 100% grant. You are not paying anything. So that scheme, it covers infrastructure, it covers equipment kept at 5 million, and then it also covers the energy support solutions. So because we've got problems, energy, power, so if you come up with alternative energy solutions like the solar systems, the inverters, or buying the generators, anything that will keep you going in the absence of electricity. So we give you that scheme. It's up to a maximum of 10 million. So you can imagine now, but if you are applying for all of this collectively, the maximum we offer is 23 million. But just imagine 23 million and it's a grant. I mean, this is unbelievable. So now the honors rest with the listeners to say, with all this information, what are they going to do with this?
What are you going to do? I think upon other things there is that are also happening is we have no knowledge, and that's why people say my people will perish because of the lack of knowledge. Now we have the knowledge as to there's money there, but now what? Where do we go? How do we get to the money now?
All right, so if you go to our website firstly, which is www.dsbd.gov.za, DSBD is for Department of Small Business Development.gov.za. You are going to get all this information. And we have all the applications. Now we are doing online applications. But we are also working very closely with our agency, which is called the Small Enterprise SETFA, Small Enterprise Development and Finance Agency. And if you go to their website, which is www.setfa.co.za, you'll also get all this information in terms of the different programs. Recently, our minister, Mr. Landabeni, launched a women's fund, which is capitalized at 300 million. She launched, after that one, she also launched a construction fund, which is capitalized as well at 300 million. And on the 26th of this month, because it's Youth Month, she's going to be launching another program, which is the Youth Entrepreneurship Fund. That will be launched on the 26th in the Free State, in a place called Kwakwa. So you can imagine, everyone is actually catered for. Apart from going to the website, you can also call us on 0861 843 384. And you select option 2. That is for the Department of Small Business Development. You are going to get all these advices. You are going to talk to someone who's going to guide you on how and where to get all these application forms.
Now, I want you to maybe just think, 20 years when you were maybe at the age of 20, what is the one financial advice you think that if you had it, maybe we might not be sitting with you here today? We know you might be doing, as you said, that you're doing very well or you're doing okay in your life. But what is that one advice that says that if you had not seen or received it, it's either you are not going to be here, or if you have received this information at an early age, you know very well you'll be in a better stage in life?
If I really knew that entrepreneurship is the way to go. You know, if I ask you to say, what's your favorite car? And you tell me, if money was not a problem and you were to buy the best car that you love, what car will it be? And someone might say a Bugatti. Someone might say a Lamborghini. No one is going to say a Toyota Corolla or a Polo VW Polo. And trust me, all those cars, you're not going to buy them because you are an employee of someone. No. All those people that drive those cars, they follow their passion. They pursued business. So if you ask all the rich people, if you look at the Forbes list, the top 100, all of them they're in business, or they're in sports, but sports is business. They're in music is business. So either you commercialize talent or the skill that you possess in order to generate money. If I had learned earlier in life that if you commercialize a skill, that will result into a business wherein you become an employer instead of being an employee, I will be far.
Quite a mouthful. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, we are speaking with, of course, the communication, of course, that is the director of the Department of Small Businesses Development. Right here, where do we run, especially with all this that are happening? Earlier on, a particular man said that men are also entitled, their whole being, their worth is also entitled into finance. You know, you as a man, as a father as well, maybe what do you think has to bring men to feel that, for me to feel like I'm a man and I'm a man enough, I must be able to produce that 10,000 in a month so that I can be able to do this? Because of a lot of men without, the umbrella of finance, their identity is being stripped away. You know, their dignity is being stripped away. What is it that what's your take on this matter? Because of these are some things that get to affect the mere South African men on our day-to-day life.
Okay, the reality of life is that almost everything is somehow intertwined with your means of production. So it doesn't have to be money. It might be the capability to feed your family. If you look at most people in the rural areas, they invest their energy in farming, animal farming, they are plowing. So it's not about rents and cents, but it is the ability to feed your family. Every man must possess that ability. However, not all of us are going to plant tomatoes or have chickens and be able to send my son and say, let's kill that goat so that in the next 2 months we are covered in terms of meat. Or let's go harvest and then we're going to use this mealies to produce mealie meal. So that's how in the olden days our people lived. So it wasn't about money, it was the capability to produce so that you are able to feed your family. Now today, most of our people, because of the dynamics of the lifestyle, the environment where we live, and the opportunities that are now presented by the economy that we are in, which is an economy that is influenced by politics, an economy that is influenced by technology, by the systems and all that. It means that the majority of us, we must find a way to make money in order to buy those little things. Be it a 5 kg of mealie meal, but at least if I have that $100 and I'm able to buy that, so I am equal to that one that is producing it back at home.
Yeah, quite, of course, interesting, the ability, of course, to be able to do. Now, let's also maybe come back again and revelele khanyane also in terms of the business. So, in a nutshell, South Africa, whether you have a business or you don't have, whether you have an idea, that's what the department is saying. Udira something. As long as you are saying you are doing something, registered or not, come and we're going to make sure that we get to give you the of course, opportunity so that you can have the ability to make that money. Now, let me just perhaps say, what is your last words to South Africa? I'm asking you as the communicator of the director of communication for Department of Small Businesses Development. What is the one thing you say to men, more especially the fact that opportunities are here? What do you say to men?
I think my concluding remarks is that people always rule themselves out and they think that these opportunities are for certain people. And that is not true. The reality is that they don't take action most of the time. And that is why I asked the question, what are you going to do with this information? And the courage lies in you starting. The secret for your success lies in the courage for you to start. You have an idea, don't shelve it. Start now. Thank you.
Beautiful, of course, ladies and gentlemen. And we thought wasting much time, let's do this.